Check out the new Friendo U lineup at friendoshop.com and use promo code Friendo2024 to get 20% off store-wide. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Friendo Club Wrestling. Larson, it's hard to believe that 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's the day of the very first episode of Going in Raw where you, me, Dan reviewed.
A bunch of people are like, what's a Dan?
Who's Dan?
Who's
Dan
that?
Nerd Cubed.
What's
Of
that?
Dan Nerd Cube fame.
Yeah.
We reviewed Night of Champions 2014. Went down September 21st, I believe.
So back then, the idea of Going in Raw was we just do this once a month. Wouldn't it be amazing, Larson, if we made same money, but we only had to do it once a month?
A person could dream.
Guy can dream, right?
It's like the AEW contract, you know?
You're right. Yeah, I know. Exactly. It'd be awesome. But no. We're 5 days a week, plus all this business over here at Friendo Club Wrestling. So 10 years ago, like you said, we reviewed Night of Champions 2014. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember much of anything about this show, so maybe this will spur some memories. But I thought it'd be fun to do a Guess the Dave Meltzer star review. You're going to react to Dave Meltzer's star ratings for Night of Champions 2014. Are you ready for this?
Not at all. I'm looking at the card here. And I don't know. I don't know what to
And you know
expect.
what? For these, if we're gonna keep doing these retro, I like just going back, going to how we do it in the present day ones.
Yeah.
You know, I think in advance, maybe what we can do is we can have the people vote on like what they want to do next. So if whoever's in the hot seat, if they want to prepare, meaning watching the matches, not reading the newsletter, they can.
Yeah.
You know,
No, that's not bad. Maybe we should go back to, obviously Night of Champions 2014 and then just go pay-per-view by pay-per-view and get caught up for every pay-per-view of the Going in Raw era.
That sounds miserable, to be honest with you.
There's a lot of bad pay-per-views.
A lot of bad pay-per-views, my friend. All right. Are you ready to run
Sure.
into this?
I see there's eight matches on the card here.
That's right. And I've got the wrestling. Hopefully, I hope nobody snitches on us. But we've got the actual wrestling newsletter write-up right here below us so that people can see the star rating as you're trying to figure it out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're all rooting for you, Larson. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's get after it.
Get after it.
Do you know what the very first match was? I think.
Well, I'm looking here at the Wikipedia entry. Yes, I know what the first match is.
Well, then the first match is Goldust versus Stardust.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Versus just me, Oos, and the other Oos, the Usos, for the WWE tag titles. Of course, this is when Goldust and Cody Rhodes beat the Usos to win those tag titles. Ironic, of course, because Stardust and Jey Uso did win the tag titles 9 years later.
Yeah.
So this is what the Dave Meltzer had to say. The Dave Meltzer. Jay was back to working with a knee injury here. They had a fun opener. Michael Cole explained that the cosmic key that Stardust has been searching for is the tag team titles. Goldust at one point gave Jimmy a power slam on the floor. They went to all the near falls late. Goldust flipped off the apron, taking out Jimmy on the floor. Jay did a dive over the top on Stardust. Jay went for a splash off the top on Stardust, who got his knees up and then cradled Jay, holding the tights. A cheaty victory for Cody Rhodes to get the win over the Usos. What star rating did Dave Meltzer give this fun match?
Even 10 years ago, Dave didn't provide much editorializing on these write-ups, huh?
It was a fun opener. What I mean,
Fun.
that adds a new adjective to our lexicon
So
here.
great has been established between 4.5. Really good, I would think, would be 3.5 to 4. Fun, I would think, would be 3 to 3.5. I'm gonna say you gave it 3.5.
Oh, you're so close. 3.25. Very good. Very good. You're so close. You're so close.
Always a quarter star off every time.
All right. Well, you know what? This could be kind of like horseshoes. You get moral victories for close. All right. Next up, we've got Sheamus versus Cesaro for the United States Championship. This is what Meltzer had to say. Usual physical style from both men. Sheamus gave Cesaro a fantastic flip for a near fall. The story is that he kept not getting it when setting up the brogue kick. Cesaro threw him in the air and hit the Bolo forearm. Sheamus missed another bro kick. Cesaro got a near fall with a schoolboy. Strong finishing sequence as Cesaro went for the neutralizer, but Sheamus flipped out of it. Cesaro landed on his feet, and Sheamus went for another bro kick that Cesaro ducked out of. Cesaro then got Sheamus up in a torture rack and slammed him from there. Cesaro was slapping him around, and then they traded punches and elbows. You could see in the finish the G1 style, since Cesaro was one of the WWE guys who watched the entire tournament. He was landing hard kicks and punches, then landed a running kick to the face. Sheamus then hit the bro kick out of nowhere and got the pin. The story is Sheamus would continually set it up and fail, but with no setup, he caught Cesaro off guard with it. Cesaro is one of the WWE guys who watched the entire tournament. How do you think Dave Meltzer knew that?
Maybe he just talked to Cesaro about it.
Okay. Well, Dave Meltzer talked to Cesaro, but what did Dave Meltzer give this match? Remember, these guys threw some, they had some bangers back in the day.
Yeah, this is well before the Thebar stuff, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this was a couple years before Thebar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
My
this
sense
predates
of the last
Thebar.
10 years is completely out of whack.
Because we saw Thebar wrestle that one match where Cesaro got his teeth, rammed up
What was
his
it, like
mouth.
20...
That's 2016 or 2017.
16, okay. That makes sense.
Maybe even later than that. So, yeah, it might have been later than that. Anyway, it predates this by a few years. I mean, he says that this felt like a G1 match somewhat, so it's got to be higher than 3. I'm going to say 3 3/4.
He gave it 4 stars.
All right.
Off by another quarter. You're doing pretty good. All right. Let's see here. Next up. Oh, wow. Dave Meltzer says Florida Georgia Line, the hot country duo, came out for commentary and to get involved in the next match. The next match was The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. This is during their IC, one of their seemingly many IC title feuds, because weren't they feuding 2 years later?
Several years later at No Mercy here in Sacramento.
No Mercy. All right. The Miz won the IC title from Dolph Ziggler in less than 10 minutes. 9 minutes, 22 seconds. This is what Meltzer had to say. Miz and Damien Mizdow came out with identical costumes. R-Truth came out with Ziggler as R. Ziggler. Mizdow interfered and also took out R. Ziggler. He insulted Florida Georgia Line, and they gave Mizdow a double forearm. R. Ziggler then chased Mizdow back to the back. He's really liking this R-Truth Ziggler stuff. They traded near falls. Ziggler sold his knee after a Miz figure 4 spot. Oh, remember his terrible figure 4?
Oh, he had an awful, awful figure 4.
Ziggler had it won when Mizdow came back out. Ziggler super kicked Mizdow off the apron, which allowed Miz to come from behind with a rolling reverse cradle and held the tights for the pin. Another holding of the tights.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 matches. Got a handful of tights in the roll-up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it? That's all you get?
That's all you get.
Gosh. See, this seemed like, he didn't say it was fun, but he seemed like he enjoyed it in parts. Not a whole lot of editorializing, which makes me feel like middle-of-the-road score, kind of. But he didn't necessarily say anything was mediocre. He didn't really say anything about the quality. I'll say he gave it 2 3/4.
God dang, brother, you are so close. Every time he gave it 2.5.
See, like, my logic's good.
It's good.
I feel like every one, my logic is sound just that little bit off.
After that, Seth Rollins was in the ring making fun of Roman Reigns. He says, I love it because this is where you get the Meltzer.
We get some snark?
Yeah, he said that emergency surgery was no excuse for missing a match. Actually, as excuses in wrestling go, emergency surgery ranks near the top. There was a light, we want Ambrose chant. Let's see here. Okay, so then Seth Rollins issued an open challenge. A taxi showed up backstage. Ambrose ran out of the taxi without paying. They didn't have a match but brawled in the stands. There's no star rating for this here.
Oh, all right.
Next up, we have Rusev beating Mark Henry, Rusev Botria, in 8 minutes and 21 seconds. This is what Dave Meltzer had to say. You got to really pay attention to this first sentence because it's probably a lot. You got to, okay. The match was good, at least until it started. Lillian Garcia sung the national anthem while Henry was crying in the ring. Oh, they were doing the bad foreign heel guy. Okay. Apparently, Mark Henry was crying in the ring. The crowd was super fired up at this point. Then the match started. The key spot was Rusev driving Henry's back into the ring post. Henry made a comeback, but when he tried to slam Rusev, his back went out. Rusev went for the accolade, but Henry powered out of it. Henry hit the world's strongest slam, but was selling his back and couldn't follow up, and Rusev rolled out of the ring. As Henry after him, Rusev kicked Henry through the ropes, hit another thrust kick, and put Henry in the accolade for the submission.
Not a fan, seemingly.
Not a fan.
Particular bout.
Not a fan.
The star rating lower.
The star rating definitely reflects him not being a fan.
Has to be lower than Miz and Dolph. That was 2.5. Let's say he gave this one 1.5.
God damn, bro. If we were doing the thing where you get a point for if you're a quarter off,
I'd have 4 points by now, wouldn't I?
You would. This is a star and a quarter match. All right, man. Let's see if you can get this with match number 5.
Every time, basically a quarter star off.
Randall Keith Orton versus Chris Jericho. 16 minutes, 18 seconds. Pay attention to this first line, Larson. It's very important. It's very important. Although, given the star rating, it's kind of deceiving. Best match on the show.
All right.
Jericho missed a charge and flew out of the ring.
Hold on a second. You said pay attention to the sentence, although based on the star rating is a bit deceiving. So we already got a 4-star match earlier on the card. So that leads me to believe that he says this is the best match on the show, yet based on your reaction to that sentence, it didn't get high as a rating as Sheamus and Cesaro.
Don't think that.
All right.
Jericho blocked an RKO after Jericho missed a charge and went shoulder first into the post. Orton set up the punt. Jericho moved, used a schoolboy for a near fall, and put the walls of Jericho on. Jericho pulled Orton to the center of the ring. Crowd went oh, here we go. He hit the draping DDT, but Jericho hit the code breaker out of nowhere for a great near fall. Crowd went crazy for that. Jericho went to the top rope when he came off. Orton caught him with the RKO for the pin. This was Jericho's best match of his latest run, and it was his last match under his current deal as he's going on tour with Fozzy and promoting his 3rd autobiography. What rating did Dave Meltzer give this match?
He said it was best match. You saying that, man, that's messing me up.
You got to put the pieces together. Got to put the pieces together. What did I say?
You said, pay attention to this first sentence, although based on the star rating, it doesn't, it's something like it wasn't, it led me to believe that the star rating for this match was lower than Sheamus versus Cesaro.
I said, so he called it the best match on the card. I'm going to help you out here. He called it the best match on the card. Which would lead you to believe that what?
It got a higher star rating than Sheamus and Cesaro.
But if it didn't,
then it wasn't.
What would that lead you to believe?
That it was lower than 4 stars. Or it got 4 stars.
Not necessarily lower than
4. All right, 4 stars.
It's 4 stars. Because you would have gone like 4.5 or 4.25, which makes sense. He calls it the best match on the card, but it gets the same star rating. Make it make sense.
I know.
I don't like that there's a window of force. There's like window for these stars.
I know. That's why the natural thing when you say that is, oh, it's lower than the other match.
Right. But I didn't want you to be deceived by that because I don't want you to think it was higher than the other match.
Yeah.
Trying to help you. So you got one. Well, let me ask you something. If I was just, playing this straight up, you would have given this like what, 4.25?
4.25. Yeah, I've gone 4.25. Yeah.
All right. Next bitch. AJ Lee won the Divas title in a 3-way over champion Paige and Nikki Bella in 8 minutes and 39 seconds. They were put in the death spot. They had the least amount of heat of anything on the show, but had a solid match. The CM Punk chants weren't as loud as usual. AJ got the Black Widow on Bella, but Paige... Oh, yeah, this was 8 months after Punk, huh?
Yeah, several months after
AJ
he
got
left.
it bad from those fans, dude.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
AJ got the Black Widow on Bella, but Paige broke it up with a super kick. The big spot was a stacked up superplex as Paige went to superplex AJ, and Bella came underneath and powerbombed Paige off the ropes, which sent AJ flying. Bella gave Paige the rack drop, but AJ saved. AJ threw Bella off the apron. She took a back bump off the apron to the floor. With Bella selling on the floor, AJ got Paige in the Black Widow. Paige teased breaking it, but AJ blocked the break, and Paige tapped out. I mean, the one he gave you a little bit there.
Solid match, bad spot on the card, therefore no heat. So
Yeah.
he likes heat.
He loves
his
heat.
matches. If
He
there's
gives-
not a
he
crowd
gives us more
reaction,
stories. Yeah.
he docks it.
Mm-hmm.
Say went solid, but 2 1/4.
Hey, there you go. Spot on. Didn't even have to help you on that. All right, next up, in the last match on the card, otherwise known as the main event.
Main event.
All right. John Cena beat Brock Lesnar versus DQ in 14 minutes, 11 seconds, so Lesnar retained the WWE title. A good match, but by far the least memorable of the 3 matches they've had in recent years. Cena hit the attitude adjustment in the opening seconds, and Lesnar kicked out at 1. I'm so fucking done with those matches. I'm so glad that's a thing of the past.
I know.
That's such a Brock thing.
The matches where everybody just spams their finishers. Yeah.
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 Lesnar then put on a Kimura, and Cena got to the ropes. It had super heat early. Lesnar did 2 German suplexes and 3 straight vertical suplexes a la Eddie Guerrero. Cena made a comeback with lousy-looking punches. Lesnar took his head off with a lariat. Lesnar again went for the Kimura, but Cena made the ropes. Lesnar used an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Cena went for an attitude adjustment, but Lesnar hit another German suplex. Lesnar's nose was bleeding from a Cena elbow. Lesnar took off his gloves, but Cena hit a second attitude adjustment. This time, Lesnar kicked out at 2. Lesnar went for the F5, and Cena turned it into the STF. Lesnar reversed it into a Kimura. Cena picked Lesnar up while in the move, but Lesnar held on until Cena drove him to the turnbuckles to break it. Cena hit his third attitude adjustment and immediately went for the STF. Lesnar tried to get to the ropes, but Cena dragged him to the center. Lesnar struggled and finally made it to the ropes, but Cena dragged him to the center again. Cena let go of the STF to hit a 4th attitude adjustment when Rollins ran in and hit Cena with the briefcase for the DQ. They were having a great match, but the finish left it flat. 14 minutes and then you get this finish.
Yeah.
That was me. Rollins laid out Lesnar with the curb stomp. He then went to cash in his briefcase on the laid out Lesnar, but before the bell rang, Cena hit the ring and chased Rollins away. Then Lesnar got up and laid out Cena with an F5. So Meltzer said they were having a great match, but the finish left it flat. Least memorable of the previous 3 matches. And he called it a good match.
Good with a flat finish.
They were having a great match.
Great.
They were having a great match.
So I feel like great means is approaching 4. Finish kind of stunk. Pushes it back. It depends how much he wants to punish the match for a bad finish. I'm going to say he gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, you're right there, man. Right there. Good job. Well done. Great finish. Great finish. The meat of the match, not good. But the finish, real good.
Nailed the finish.
Lots of heat.
Massive heat.
Well done. All
Look
right.
at all those hope spots throughout.
Yeah, a lot of hope spots. A couple false
close.
finishes, Larson.
Getting close.
Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what pay-per-view you guys want us to do the Guess the Meltzer retro review, retro reactions to next here at Friendo Club. I like these. These are fun and they're easy to do. So yeah, till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.